What's up, everyone? So I've tightened my fuel cap, I've replaced my fuel cap, and I still get that error message that says check your fuel cap. So I've teamed up with this awesome Honda specialist named Faye, and we decided to shoot footage on how to properly diagnose the problem and then solve the problem and delete the problem. So if you're ready, here we go.
Again, you've put a new gas cap on here already, but
Right.
that seal on older caps starts to crack,
Right.
and you'll see little hairline cracks all the way around it.
Right.
So even when you tighten it down,
There's no seal.
there's no seal. Now, some people, they tighten it like that. They don't do it. The note on there says to tighten it till you hear it click. That's like a ratcheting, torque spec. So making sure that happens is part of the problem. A lot of times when we get this complaint, it's usually after people fill up. One of the first tests before we do anything, we come in here and we slowly see if it'll turn. And if it moves, we know that was it. But if it does this and snaps, we know it's fine. This guy right here, which is the canister purge, right?
Right.
Purge control solenoid valve. So this line goes back to the canister,
Right.
essentially on its way to the tank to get those vapors. If you leave that canister vent valve open, it will be using this system to suck fresh air from the back of the car through the canister into the engine. Okay.
Right.
The engine programming is designed to compensate for that, so we won't have an issue with fuel mixture. But what it's looking to do when it tests the system to make sure the vapors can't escape is every now and again it'll shut that valve off in the back and it will apply the negative pressure on the whole system. So you should see some level of vacuum, and then if it's not leaking, it should hold. Now you do still have fuel evaporating, so some of the vapor pressure will make that vacuum kind of decay, but depending on how much of a decay, the system can tell whether or not there's actually a leak. Okay, so that's what the computer is looking at. So this valve is supposed to suck down the whole system, hold it for a while, and then go back and look at that number 2, 3, 5 minutes later and tell you whether or not there's a leak.
Right.
Every time it does it, if the number's within limits, you're fine. If the number's out of limits, the first thing it'll do is tell you to check the gas cap. Right?
These are the numbers on the screen that we were watching.
No, yes, that we were watching. Right.
Right.
So if the numbers are out of limit by time and whatever, then you'll get a warning. If that warning stays on there too long, then you get a check engine light. Okay. So what we've done is tapped into the system to watch it running and watch those numbers. And what we found, which is the common failure with this style of purge control valve, is that the charcoal dust over time from the charcoal canister ends up coming up the line and clogging up this valve. Now you hit it with the screwdriver, you might shake some off, it'll work for a while. We actually will see that happen in the video where at first nothing happened.
Right.
We pull vacuum on the system to make sure that it's intact, the integrity, there's no leaks. We put everything back together, having touched it, then all of a sudden it wants to work right. And then after watching it a couple of times, then it stops working again. So,
Right.
but that's how this works. So,
All right. Excellent. Here's the part that causes the check fuel cap error message. This is the part that should solve the problem and the cost from the Honda dealer.
okay. It's magic. a purge control valve fix all of these failures? No. Will it fix most of them?
Right.
Probably. But again, there's no telling what could possibly ever be wrong with an evap system, and guessing. So I don't know how much the gas cap costs. I don't know how much that valve costs, but
Well, the gas cap was $50 from the dealer. This part was $220 from the dealer, and that the $220 part fixed the problem.
So at some point, had it been diagnosed properly the first time, you would have paid $170. No, right now you're at $270. You would have paid $220.
Yeah.